Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a Git command that sounds, well, kind of strange, but is actually super powerful: Git cherry pick. We're going to break down exactly what it is, how you use it, and why it might just become your new favorite tool for getting out of a very common jam.
So let's just start with a question I'm pretty sure almost every developer can answer with a painful yes. Have you ever been deep in the zone just cranking out code? You make a commit, and then you get that sinking feeling in your stomach. You just committed to the wrong branch.
And this is the classic bind, right? You've got this one perfect commit. Maybe it's a critical bug fix, and it's sitting there on your new feature branch. But you need that fix on the main branch, like yesterday. The problem is you can't merge the whole feature branch. It's half finished. So what are your options?
Well, this exact scenario, a commit stuck in the wrong place, is precisely the problem that Git cherry pick was built to solve. It's all about moving one specific change from point A to point B without having to drag everything else along with it.
Okay, so let's get into it. What is this thing?
At its heart, Git cherry pick is a command that gives you surgical control. It lets you reach into any branch in your repository, find that one single commit you care about, and apply its changes right onto the branch you're currently on.
The name, honestly, is the perfect way to think about it. Just imagine your project's history is this big tree with all these different branches growing out. Cherry picking is you reaching over to one of those branches, finding the one perfect ripe cherry, that's your commit, and carefully placing it right onto a different branch. Metaphors are great, but let's get our hands dirty and look at the mechanics. How does Git actually pull this off? How does it take that cherry and stick it somewhere else? Let's walk through it.
So here's where we start. You've got two parallel timelines. There's your main branch chugging along, nice and stable, and then you have your feature branch where you're doing all your new, exciting, and maybe slightly broken work. And on that feature branch is the one commit we need to rescue.
Now, the command itself, it's almost shockingly simple. First, you check out the branch you want to receive the change. In our case, main. Then, you just run git cherry pick, and you give it the commit hash. That long string of numbers and letters is like the commit's unique fingerprint, its address.
And boom, it's done. The changes from that commit now exist on your main branch. But here's the really important part. The original commit wasn't moved. It's more like a copy-paste. Git creates a totally new commit on main that just happens to contain the exact same code changes. The original is still safe and sound right where you left it on the feature branch.
And this brings us to the most crucial principle, which the source material puts perfectly. Using cherry pick doesn't change existing history, it adds to it. Because you're creating a new commit, not rewriting the past. It's a really safe operation. You're not messing with the integrity of your original branch at all.
All right, we've got the theory down. So where does this really shine in the real world? What's the killer app for cherry pick? Well, by far the most common and valuable use case is for a critical hotfix. So picture this. A critical bug is found out in the wild, on your release 1 branch. A developer jumps on it, fixes it with one clean commit on that release branch. But that same bug almost certainly exists back on your main development branch. Instead of some complex merge, you can just cherry-pick that one single hotfix commit from the release branch and apply it directly to master. Problem solved in both places. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, hold on, why not just merge the branches? And that's a totally fair question. The difference between these two is vital for knowing when to use which tool. So let's put them side by side.
Here's the difference in a nutshell. A merge is designed to bring over the entire history of another branch. It's an all-or-nothing deal. You get all the commits or you get none of them. Cherry pick, on the other hand, is that surgical tool. It lets you select one specific set of changes and bring it over, while leaving all the other commits behind.
So when we zoom out a bit from the command line, what does a tool like this really mean for us? What does it give us? It gives us the power to create a much more precise and intentional story for our project's history.
And really, that's the bottom line. Git cherry pick is all about precision. It's for those moments you don't need a sledgehammer, you need a scalpel. When you don't want the whole branch, just one specific, carefully targeted change, one commit at a time. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. If a tool like cherry pick lets us move individual changes so freely between different lines of development, what does a branch even mean anymore? Is it just a temporary label, a suggestion, or is it something more fundamental? It's a question that really gets to the core of how we think about building software today.